self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists. What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con Artists.
Captain Planet, he's a hero. Gonna take pollution down to a zero. Gonna help him put asunder bad guys who like to loot and plunder.
You'll pay for this, Captain Planet. I imagine that's Sean Connery.
I know, it did sound like him. I don't know that it was him, but it did sound like him, didn't it?
Captain Planet was weird.
It was extremely weird. If I like the powers that the kids had, all of them were pretty cool except for Heart. He
could communicate with animals.
But what does that have to do with Heart? Like, that's not. How does that tie into his heart? Like,
I don't know. I just didn't understand how all their powers combined and this blue dude with a green mullet come out of nowhere. Like, what was that about? Like, redneck planet hero?
Yeah, well, at least I will say this about Captain Planet. They tried to be culturally sensitive. They had somebody representing.
They had a German chick, a white dude, a black dude, well, African dude, a
Asian girl,
and an Indian
boy. Yes,
boy. Yeah.
He wasn't the Indian, the one that had Heart.
Heart, yeah.
So stupid.
Your powers combined. I am Captain Planet. Mullet. Green.
Just weird. Why couldn't he just come? Why we gotta do all of this shit on our end and try and then put the rings together? Well, you could have just come in the beginning.
And you know what? At the beginning of the show, it had bad guys that literally wanted to just put toxic waste in the water
for no fucking
exactly
reason.
Corporations, they do that as a means to an end to get rid of stuff. It's like we're gonna put plastic around these ducks' necks and let's see if Captain Planet can stop this.
Like, it was so stupid. It was so stupid.
It's like their goal was just to pollute the earth.
Because why the fuck not? Like, it made no sense at all.
Did you see that skit with Don Cheadle with Captain Planet?
No.
Oh my goodness! You gotta watch it.
Oh God.
We gonna have to watch it. But anyway, I want to let y'all know about the website. Go to the website www.conversationconartist.com. It got links from all the stories and everything that we talk about today, as well as our current and past episodes. You can scroll over to the left to where the little envelope icon is. Hover over that, and you can leave us some feedback, send us a listener letter, or you can subscribe to our newsletter to see what we're talking about. You can find me at Twitter at Mr. Mister_on point.
And I could be found at Red_Calamity. If you couldn't tell by the randomness that has already occurred, this is going to be our Inception episode, which means that it's a conversation inside a... Basically, we're just going to talk randomly. There is no structure. We are going to do the listener letter because we do have one and we want to address that. If you have a question or comment or whatever that you would like to send in to be addressed on the show, you can send it in through our website, or you can send it through our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com. And I'm going to let Mr. On Point handle the letter.
All right. Interested to get YouTube's thoughts on the turn Sanders' campaign is taking and the dangers of a Trump presidency for Black Americans. Best regards, Mr. Smith. He left his whole government, but I ain't gonna put that out there.
That's so funny. Well, it could be Mr. and Mrs. Smith. He could be a spy. We don't know.
No idea.
I think I've said before that I'm going to move. I think we discussed. Where'd you say where the dollar goes the furthest?
Where the dollar goes the furthest?
Yes.
The community?
No. Where the dollar, like, as far as the exchange rate goes the furthest.
Oh, Amsterdam.
Amsterdam is where I will be if Trump becomes president. Bernie, I think, is kind of shitting where he sleeps a little bit with this whole... I think it was in Nevada where his issue was, and he was, accusing the Nevada Democrats of creating a situation in which he couldn't win that state.
So just to get some oversight of what happened with the Bernie Sanders president bid for president or whatever, there was a very small path of potential victory for Bernie Sanders. Mm-hmm. Pretty much he had to win every state from here on out to do that. And in Nevada, he didn't win that. And so he became overly critical of how Nevada's rules and the system there handled his presidency, and he spoke out in the campaign, and it turned into the supporters getting angry.
Because and I mean people in general, love to get angry about shit that we don't necessarily have an understanding of. So instead of them being angry at the Nevada Democratic Party exclusively, they just were mad at Democrats in general, because we have a tendency to just kind of overreach and not research things. And so Bernie is getting a lot of backlash about that, saying that he's inciting violence. And the reason I say he's kind of shitting where he sleeps is that at this point, Hillary is going to be I'm a Bernie supporter, but I have acknowledged the fact that Hillary is going to get the nomination. And I think that in doing this, he's kind of created a situation in which, okay, you're going to need these people after you don't win, you know? I don't know what that's going to look like for him.
Well, I don't think Bernie Sanders has deviated from what he's been communicating about his whole campaign.
Yeah.
I think that his rhetoric has been that the system is flawed, the system is problematic, the system is continuing to put old people in the same old spots through the same old system.
Yeah.
And I think that if the system indeed in Nevada, because clearly Nevada gonna say our system ain't a problem. The problem, it seemed like, might have been that one, his delegates didn't register in time for all of his delegates to sit.
Yeah.
You know, for the situation, which his campaign is saying came from a bunch of changes in the rules that moved the time at a different place. And so it didn't allow them to sit, where that was 60 delegates. If they would have sat, he could have possibly won that state.
Yeah.
And so if it is indeed Nevada that messed up, I understand the anger. But you know what? Bernie Sanders been speaking out against the system the whole time, but the American system. And so to me, it's not odd for him to speak out against that system in Nevada at his campaign, because it's that specific system. So it really don't, to me, he hadn't deviated much from it. But the implications that he's inciting violence, well, Donald Trump been inciting violence, and Donald Trump been saying I pay illegal fees, and it's just through, it's not through legitimate means that he communicates that. So to me, if you look at Sanders' whole campaign and the fact that this hadn't happened you want to take out this isolated incident and say that he's inciting violence when Donald Trump is doing the same thing and done it maliciously and hadn't had any negative effects to it.
I think they're ready for him to drop out, and I think that this is a way. Yeah, they're using this as a way to force that, because they want him to just drop out, so that Hillary can just be the nominee. So I think that's more what it's about, is kind of just trying to force him. It's like when people force older people into retirement. This is what they're trying to do to Bernie right now.
Bernie Sanders might not make it to the next presidency.
That's what everybody keeps saying. He is old. That is true, but he got a lot of fire in his belly. So,
me personally, I think even if Bernie Sanders don't get the nomination, this is really good for America, because what we have seen it come down to is Bernie Sanders' extreme ideals about change in a system that has never really been out there. And to have this much support and to be this close to snagging the nomination, I think that we talking about young America versus old America.
Yeah.
Young America who is ready for change. Because I was thinking about it. There is no political party that should say it's okay for business to have as strong as influence in politics as it does. To me, that don't make sense. If you're a conservative or Republican individual and you believe in the founding fathers' ideals of how this place should be ran, there were no businesses in politics back then. So for it to be that now, and for one of the Democratic nominee seekers to be saying we need to get money out of politics, I don't see where that's a problem to anybody. It's caused nothing but problems and turmoil and grief. But the fact that he's so close, I think America is getting much, much closer to that, and I think that's what we need.
Yeah,
and that's where my support from Bernie Sanders come from. I don't necessarily believe he can do all the stuff he's saying he can do, but I believe that he is telling us that we need to believe that our government and our system and our politics need to be different.
Yeah,
because it was built to be different than what it is right now. So I think It's over for Bernie Sanders, I guess.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it is.
It's somebody else gonna come up that believe the same things he believed that's gonna be in a better position to snag that.
Yeah.
I
mean, and as far as a Trump presidency, y'all know that I'm usually the cynic, and some people would say pessimistic. I think of it as realism, but that is neither here nor there. Even through that lens that I view the world, I just, in my heart, hope that this is a country in which we would not allow that fuck shit to happen. Because Donald Trump, there will be another war for sure. Like, the reasons why people that like Donald Trump are the same reasons why his candidacy or his presidency would be the worst fucking thing ever. He has no diplomacy. He's very forward and outright with his prejudices. Like, it's just, it would be terrible. And I just would like to think that there's enough of the people in this country that realize that would not allow that to happen. And this is one of the few times in which I can be a little optimistic. But I do have that plan B, which is Amsterdam. Me and Kingston are, we out.
You know what I want? Well, you better put your passport might not be back by November if you hadn't applied for it. So you need to go do that.
Oh yeah, I need to do that this week.
I think what I think is that if you look over Donald Trump's history of his politics, what he's talked about in interviews, how he's communicated, on paper he's a Democrat. On paper he is liberal. Like right up to President Obama's presidency.
Yeah.
He was the one that called for the birth. He was the one that started the whole birther movement. He was the one that asked for President Obama's birth certificate. Before that, on paper, he's conservative. Go look at his interviews. Put in Donald Trump history in YouTube and go listen to what he's talking about. Listen to who he support. He's always been a Democrat. What I hope, this ain't the situation, but what I would hope is that Donald Trump is trying to show America how stupid they are because of how big his ego is. I think the level he is at is a big ego.
You think he's punking everybody?
Well, I hope so, because it benefits the Democrat, liberal leaning, progressive side of the world.
That would be really funny. I mean,
it would. But what I'm saying is, you know how much of a narcissist you have to be Donald Trump right now?
Yeah.
Imagine how much of a narcissist you have to be trying to prove America stupid in this situation. Your ego and your narcissism got to be way higher for that. And it might be up there. I hope it's high enough for him to be saying, I'm going to show y'all how stupid these Republicans are.
You're not the only person that I've heard say that. So there may be something to that, because there are people who feel like he's doing this just to be like, gotcha.
He's coming back. Exactly. He's coming back. He's already said that he ain't going to be on no wall. He said that. Go to YouTube, look it up. He said he ain't going to be on no wall after he's used the wall as the rhetoric to get the country on edge. And so he's coming back on a lot of stuff. He's going to be a lot more center, even if he does get the Republican nomination, than anything. And so to me,
he already has it, because didn't Ted Cruz drop out? Isn't he the nominee? Doesn't he have it? Yeah.
He got the nomination. But I think he's going to be far more center than anybody believe. And
I still don't want his fuck ass. I just, even if that is the case, because I know that most politicians are some level, they have a little bit of narcissism in it, but his is to the extent where that would still terrify me. Even if he was more centered than what he's showing now, that would still terrify me. Because he's Donald Trump.
Well, for me, as far as how that connects to the black community, I think that politics are disconnected from the people they're supposed to represent.
Absolutely.
Except for the wealthy.
Yeah. So in terms of the entire black community, I really don't think it's going to make a difference. I don't think it's going to make a difference for the black community specifically. It's too much dialogue surrounded around helping impoverished environments now to come in and do something like Reagan did. Because when Reagan did, he came in and cut all the social programs. He came in and halted minimum wage. He came in and reduced welfare or wages and things like that. He came in and just made
instant changes to the poverty-stricken environment. Donald Trump, no politician right now is going to come in and just be able to make immediate changes that's going to make poor people poorer right now. I don't think he's going to be able to do that. You know,
my fear is that
right
he
now
would be like Mr. Burns, like our governor, at some point down the line where his ego gets to be such that it's like, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck it is that I want to do. Well, as far as they'll allow me to do.
Well, like, I think at the federal level, it ain't gonna have as much impact as the state level governors do on us.
Yeah,
and I think there's too many checks and balances for him to do too many things that.
Like Mr. Burns is what is his? How we call him, Mr. Bentley?
Bentley.
Yeah,
in a state is not enough checks and balances if everybody on the payroll, which everybody been on the payroll for his lack of checks and balances. For the government, for the federal government. He ain't gonna be able to do that. Now, I'm gonna tell you what my biggest worry, my biggest concern with Trump being president is him being commander in chief. My problem is him making decisions based around military. And I'm afraid that the perception of America, if Donald Trump becomes the perception of America now, having him nominated is not good across the world. If he actually,
we look like crazy people.
Exactly.
Like, the other countries are looking at us like, the fuck is wrong with them? Like, we really, if you Google like what the reaction has been outside of the country, they think that we're dumbasses. Like it's a joke. It's a joke.
So I think that if he becomes president, it's gonna reinforce and solidify that idiocy that already goes around perceptually that they believe about us.
Yeah.
And I think that that's gonna be a problem because who gonna be challenging us next? Because what you want to do in this case is you want to force a person like Donald Trump to make war decisions. You want to force him to make decisions that's gonna make America vulnerable. And we got a lot of people out there that will be waiting for that.
Yeah.
You know, so that is my fear. My fear is from a America war. What kind of situation is that going to get our country in?
War. Be absolute. I wholeheartedly believe if he were to become president, shortly thereafter, we would be involved in a war again. Like, it would absolutely happen.
Now, because I don't believe it really has that much influence on, gonna have that much influence on the black community. My grandmama believe he gonna try to make us slaves again. You know, and I told my granny, I said, Grandma, before black people became slaves again, there would be a civil war that would kill every black person.
And we got lots of guns.
Like before, what I'm saying, before black people ever went to back to a time in which nothing was good, we all just be dead.
Yeah.
They have to kill all the black people in order to make America what they want it to be. Because ain't no way I'm going back to Jim Crow. Ain't no way I'm going back to slavery.
Fuck that shit. No.
You know, I mean, we still got enough residual effects from those old racisms to have issues today. Ain't going backwards.
No.
And if somebody in front of my house say, hey, y'all need to go backwards, I'm just gonna die. You know what I'm saying? I'm dying before I get some chains on me, and I'm dying before I use a different water fountain. Because I might use a different water fountain, but I'm gonna go kick that other one in. You know what I'm saying?
Can you just imagine trying to enslave like all these gay members? Just imagine how that would go with the point at which we are in. Just take Birmingham for example. Like, can you imagine them going to some of these communities trying to enslave these folks? What that would look like?
What it will look like is America will use its military, and
they would just die. Like, that's the thing. They're not gonna surrender.
This is the thing. What will happen is, let's say that became a thing. Now, the right to bear arms ain't just to protect us individually. It's to protect us from tyranny. It's to protect us from a rogue government. And so, one, it's way more people than military.
Yep.
So, one, if that was going to be the case, they would have to stop a way to arm for us to arm ourselves first.
With all the illegal, even if they like the legal method stop, there's so many illegal avenues that you wouldn't be able to stop. Well, that's part of the problem that we have now.
Well, I don't even think it matters, because as strong as the gun lobby on the Republican side is, even if the Republican side said we're going to enslave black people, they wouldn't say, well, nobody can get guns now because of that. They're going to be like, nah, well, we ain't going to enslave black people then because we're keeping our guns. You know what I'm saying? The second thing is, all the black people would leave the military. If the military said, hey, we finna enslave black folks, all the black people gonna leave. But what it will become essentially is a civil war between black people and the military. Or probably brown people. It probably wouldn't just be black people that they trying to enslave again.
No.
So I don't think any of that would happen. You know, if it would happen, then I'll die before I let it happen.
Yeah,
and
no
you know what?
way.
I'm gonna let y'all know right now. White people around me in my environment, if that were to happen, don't use no water fountains, don't get in no pool. I'm gonna have some diseases. I'm pouring them in your water supply. I'm pouring them in the pool. If you go anywhere with that I had access to something, it's gonna be a wrap. I promise you, I'm gonna be a white folk terrorist if we ever go back to that world. If I don't die initially, but that's how I that it's not gonna happen.
Nah,
but you know,
it would be terrible.
I'm just saying. Black folks who believe that slavery gonna come back or Jim Crow gonna come back, it won't come back because it would be a war in America, a civil war. And either black folks all gonna die or they just gonna say we can't do this because this is a problem. You know what I'm saying? So
I think that.
So that's my perspective.
Yeah, I think that. Right. And again, if you would like to send in a letter, comment, question, whatever the case may be, you can send it in through the website or you can send it in through our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com. And speaking of Civil War, we will be discussing my take or my response to Captain America Civil War at the end of the show, because y'all won't know, but we're gonna go and see it in between, so when we come back it'll be fresh on my mind. And I'm gonna let you know, because the thing about it is I'm still gonna think that Captain America is like the worst superhero ever. I don't think that this movie is gonna change that,
because if this is your first episode listening, she has a very strong irrational and passionate hatred for Captain America.
I don't know that it's irrational. He sucks ass. Like, he's the worst.
He doesn't suck ass. He don't suck ass on paper. He don't suck ass in movies. He just suck ass in your head.
He's horrible.
Where's the evidence?
Okay. I know, because I know what you're going to say. Oh, he's from the 50s. The whole shield thing irritates me. If you like the Avengers movie, everybody's up in the air shooting and he's on the ground handling the little henchman with his fucking shield and shit. Like, I just think he's a whack superhero. And I'm not even a Batman fan, but I would prefer Batman over. I would prefer to be rescued by Batman than I would be Captain America. Of course.
Batman is the ultimate strategist. Batman will have a plan to make sure that you don't get hurt. Captain America just gonna throw his shield at people. So if you compare Captain America, Batman, certain.
Captain America to any other superhero. I could make an argument for any other superhero.
You can. That's because you hate Captain America. It's not because it's legit.
He's horrible. But I'm going to go see this punk ass movie and we will come back to this at the end of the show. But like I said, this is the Inception episode. So like, it's just a conversation and a conversation and a conversation. So it's going to be a whole bunch of random shit. So just be prepared. I saw that. Did you see the 6-minute ramble that Kanye West did on the Ellen show?
Yeah.
Ellen was just kind of like,
weird ass.
She just went to commercial. She didn't know what else to do. It's like, okay.
And then he just got up in the middle of it and started rapping and cussing. Like,
there's something wrong with him. I know his infatuation with Walt Disney is funny. And I know you explained it to me that it's his story that he enjoyed. But Walt Disney could be alive right now and he still wouldn't fuck with Kanye. Like, he's known to be.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's about who Walt Disney was. I just think it's the fact that Walt Disney started off and he got rejected. His new age ideas that nobody could understand got rejected by a bunch of people before he started putting them out there on his own, and they became the empire known as Disney.
But another part of the ramble was that, people don't want to help each other out. Walt Disney wouldn't help you out. He could be around now and he wouldn't. You would not have a relationship with him. Like, shit wouldn't happen. Like his whole, because all these people don't want to work with Kanye because he's insane, and I could understand. I wouldn't want to work with him either. Kanye is just.
Kanye need to understand that the last time he said, I got some ideas and I'm going to change the world, he put out clothes for homeless people that costed $3,000.
Zombie
I
chic.
just don't know what he talking about. And that's what Ellen said. Ellen was like, can you give us some of those ideas? Can you tell us some of those ideas? And he just went on into how he got ideas. And how if people gave him money, he can implement his ideas. Kanye got plenty of money. Is it that he don't want to use his own money? Or is it that his ideas need to be completely funded before he even start? Because he got enough money to do something. What is he doing to change the human race?
To ramble on. I really think at this point, he's just one of those people that likes to go off on these rants. Because he absolutely has the money he had the money to start that stupid ass zombie apocalypse chic clothing line that he got going on. So I have not honestly been a fan of Kanye since those first 3 albums, and I was with it. Like, the thing about it is, he talking about people need to believe, and I believed in him. College dropout, graduation, I was a Kanye fan. I believed in him. Then he just fell off the rails, and I haven't listened to anything since. Like, I'm not gonna listen to The Life of Pablo.
You should.
I'm not.
I like The Life of Pablo.
What is Young Metro? Because I see the memes, and I know it would be funny if I understood it. Like,
that's the only reason I started listening to Kanye album, trying to figure out what that is. Yeah.
So what is it? Because I don't know.
It just, at the beginning of one of his songs, it say, if Young Metro don't trust you, I'ma shoot. That's pretty much it. And the song, it's a song. And
so there's no explanation of who Young Metro is?
It might be in that song, but I don't get it.
Now I'm gonna have to go like that one song.
But they know it's Future, and I think it's Future singing it. They identify Future as Young Metro, which is somebody that need to be trusted, or they gonna shoot you. And so a lot of memes just came out saying that, well, if Young Metro don't trust you, this is what happened. Or the other memes is like when Young Metro trusts you, and it's so like some positive that two people are doing. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing is, it's a part 1 and a part 2 to this song. This is the crazy part. It's a part 1 and a part 2 to this song. The part 1 got Future in it. The part 2 got Designer in it.
They have like an issue with each other. Well, Future has an issue with Designer.
I know.
Because he says that he stole his flow.
I know, right?
Which, Panda, I thought it was Future. I really did.
I saw a meme that said, Designer is Future's son. Sierra sent them back from the future to steal his daddy's career. That is hilarious.
Have you seen the music video for that Panda song?
No, I have tried to not even listen to that Panda song.
You haven't heard the Panda song?
No, on purpose.
You gotta hear the Panda song.
I saw your video.
I did the Stupid in the Beat. Yes.
The Stupid in the Beat video. You just read the lyrics, and I said, I'm not going to listen to this.
It's very
But it's
stupid.
like a snippet of it in that part 2.
It's very stupid. And the video...
Do it at least have black and white stuff in it?
No. It's him wearing like some kind of... Like what are those cameras? Damn, what are
GoPro?
those? Like a GoPro type camera. And he looks possessed or like he's on drugs. Like while he's doing the lyrics, it's like... Like he's just doing this... He looks possessed. I didn't get it. Like I stopped watching it because it was very disorienting in my eyes. So I didn't watch the whole thing, but it doesn't have any. The song is about a car, which you can't understand what he's saying in the song. I had somebody watch that video because they didn't know what the word. You can't understand what he's saying. The only reason that I knew is because I went to where I get my lyrics from?
Lyric Genius.
Get Rap Genius.
Rap Genius.
I went to Rap Genius, but you can't even understand what he said. But the song is supposed to be about a car that looks like a panda because it's white with like black around the headlights, so it looks like a panda bear. Mm-hmm. And that's what the whole song is about. So
this car exists because otherwise why would he rap about it? But it wasn't in the video?
Well, okay, I won't say that it's not in the video at all. Like I said, I stopped watching it because it was disorienting. It's kind of like that All of the Lights video where that flash and shit gave me, I don't even get seizures, but I was like, this may be a first. I can't watch
Epilepsy.
this. Yeah, so It's that kind of I didn't watch the whole thing. So the car may feature later in the video. The part that I saw, it's like a black, I don't know cars. Don't make me lie to you. It's a specific car. He said something about a Phantom, but I don't think it's the Phantom that's supposed to be the Panda. It's something else. I don't fucking know.
No idea.
But
I don't know nothing about cars.
The video is very disorienting. Like, cause he looks possessed or something. I don't know.
I'm not gonna watch it. I'm
He
gonna try not
does
to hear that
sound like
song.
Future. He does sound like Future. Because
Yeah.
again, I thought it was Future, and I was like, the fuck? Because I'm not a Future fan, so most of Future's music, I'm like, okay, this is stupid.
Have you heard the song Jumpman?
Jumpman. Yeah, them boys up to something.
Kanye bit that whole song on one of his songs to the point that he had to credit Drake and who else was in that song?
Future.
Drake and Future.
Yeah.
On his album for that song. It's exactly the same. He just put words where he wanted to put them at.
Wow.
Song wasn't even 2 days old. You know,
because it still comes on the radio. Like, well, I listen to XM, but it still comes on XM on some of the channels.
I like The Life of Pablo though, for some reason.
I just can't. I can't listen. There are certain artists that I get to a point where it's like I just can't be bothered. And Kanye has become one of those artists. Future was always one of those artists. So was Young Thug. I heard, what was that? I did a Stupid in the Beat on it. Whatever his first song was, after I heard that shit, I was like, okay, this ain't for me. This ain't music for me.
And the thing is, I don't know, it's just some parts in there where Kanye is taking what the world is doing to him, and instead of making him mad, he kind of running with it. It's like,
is that which one of the songs did he talk about fucking Taylor Swift?
It's called Famous, and I like that song. I just like the music, the composition of the song is the end of it going to like a Lauryn Hill like tune.
Oh,
I
like
don't know,
Miseducation, Lauryn Hill.
Is you gotta hear one of these songs, one or two, at least the Metro and the Future and
I'm gonna probably listen to Young Metro just because I like to be, up on pop culture. And so the memes, again, I didn't get why you care about Young Metro trusting you. So now it makes a little bit more sense. Because I knew it would be funny if I understood it. I just didn't understand it.
But he got a lyric on his album where he like, me and Ray J will be friends if we ain't love the same bitch. Yeah, I'm mad to hit it first. The problem is I'm rich.
What?
I don't know. He's not talking Ray J and Kim K.
I just don't
know what that is. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I just imagine that making him mad every time somebody hear it, so he just went with it and talked shit about Ray J during the whole time. Anyway, I like the album. It's cool. But Kanye is still weird as shit. I still don't get Kanye. I don't understand his dream. I don't understand his vision. He said he got synesthesis or whatever that thing is where I see sounds. I don't believe that.
First of all, that is extremely rare, and it is the only reason I know this. You know, when you were at my house and I was watching that countdown list,
yeah,
I saw one about this. It is a very rare condition, and it's mostly women that have it. So the odds are not in his favor that that's true.
And I don't believe it because why is this the first time he's saying it if he's been doing music for so long? This is something that we should have known over his whole career that's what's going on.
I think he ran across that word. It was like, that's what I got. That's me. I do that. I think he probably just ran across that one
And I
day.
think he probably believe it. I think he probably believes
which is
it.
Sad. That's sad. It's sad when you start believing your delusions.
A hypochondriac of narcissism.
Just a bad combination. Oh, that would be a terrible combination of things.
He don't do it with medical conditions. He do it with his accomplishments and things he want to be true.
Yeah, it's really sad. Sticking with the rap kind of conversation, and because we already talked about Kim's husband, so Kylie broke up with what's his face?
Tyga.
And she's already gotten with another young black rapper. Don't make me lie about who it is because it's somebody I don't know that well. So I don't remember the name, but you know, she's keeping with the family business of jumping from black man to black man. So
did you see the thing about the sex tape?
Who has a sex tape? Her and him?
Yeah, it was on. I don't know if it's true, but it was trending on Facebook that a screenshot came up on his website of two unidentifiable people that they were saying was supposed to be him and her sex tape.
She want to be Kim so bad, like she really does. She has guided her body after Kim, like her face. She's starting to look like Kim. Like she wants to be Kim very badly, and that's sad because I know you look up to your older siblings and whatnot, but it's some shit you.
How? I mean, this ain't a question that me and you can answer. I just wonder how frequent and how common recording your sex acts are.
I don't know. I think people are okay. Here's the thing that I've never understood about that. Ideally, when you're dating somebody, you want it to last forever. Realistically, that shit don't happen. Like, it doesn't happen a lot. So, like, the odds are y'all staying together forever and this tape forever staying between the two of you are too slim for my comfort. I've never understood people that were willing to do that. I wouldn't do that even with a husband because I know divorce happens. And so who gets the tape at the end of that? So, but definitely somebody that you're just dating, like what the fuck you think is going to happen if they get mad at you? Like that's just too risky. I don't know. I don't get it.
It's too risky dating.
Yes. It would be too risky for me married, but
I don't know.
Because again, who gets the tape in the divorce? Like if shit don't work out, then
I think
who gets
that
the tape?
if you're gonna be in a relationship in which you're gonna record your sexual act, then the woman should control.
Because she's less likely to release it.
If a man's sex tape come out, it ain't no big deal.
No, he looks great.
Yeah, if a woman's sex tape come out, it's a problem. So it's like
she's less likely to release it. But that ain't the case all the time because I know you don't watch Love and Hip Hop, but Mimi and whatever the fuck his name was, Roscoe. His name was Roscoe. Nico. Mimi and Nico. I think that was his name. Made the sex tape and she released it to further. First of all, you're a reality star, so I don't know how much that's gonna further your career, as it were. But she was the one that released it, so.
But it didn't hurt him.
No, it didn't hurt him.
I mean, so even if it is released, it won't really do much to a man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Unless you're gay and nobody knows. And they released that.
Like that boxer?
Yeah, like him.
Like that boxer who was he a porn?
He did a porn though.
He did a porn, which is even that's gonna be released. Anyhow. And then tried to say they drugged him and okay, sir. Then he had a coming out party.
I know, right? Like he just switched up so quick.
He had like 7 or 8 kids and shit. Here's my thing, okay? I'm not against homosexual people if they want to adopt kids, whatever. That's whatever. But me as a heterosexual female, if I'm dating you and I marry you and we have a kid and then after that you want to come out, it's a problem. Like I'm gonna have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that after the fact. That just creates such huge problems for me, for the kid, because now the kid has to try to adjust to this new normal and they're not very capable of that in a lot of cases. And it's just a whole thing. It's a whole fucking thing that I would not be able to like forgive and move on from. Like, I might go to prison about that.
I think our societal dynamic now is going to make that less frequent.
I hope so.
Because when you're talking about 30, 35-year-old men, society has created a situation where you don't talk about that because you're going to get shunned. You're going to lose everything. The world ain't going to be a friendly place. You have no support. Well, now that support around that group is coming out, you don't have to pretend for the first 25, 30 years of your life to, love women and have kids and build up relationship and connections and then come out after that. I mean, if a change is going to come out of the movement, it might as well be something. Well,
and the thing, I've never understood forcing people to stay in the like, wouldn't you just rather know? Like, let them be who they are. I've never understood like the whole why you so pressed about it. It ain't you. And I've had many conversations. The friend that I'm always referring to he's gonna be on the show at some point because he gets so upset when he's at home listening and he can't respond to these things. But I have had many a conversation with him trying to explain that, you know, I don't know where this perception that gay people are just out here jumping on whoever walks by. They have types. And you're not going to just be their type because you're a dude. Like, that's not how that works. Like, they have types. They have body types that they like. They have physical characteristics that they like and dislike. So you may not necessarily be their type. I don't know that they're just out here jumping on the first available man that comes around the corner. That's not how that works.
Well, is it possible that those men that feel like that feel that way about themselves towards women?
Well, I've asked him because I've brought that up to him. Like, you're not attracted to every woman that you see just because you like women. He still thinks. I think he's changing because I've like beat him over the head with this shit enough that I could be very convincing in a debate. So I think that he's changed a little bit just from the conversations that we have had. But I did bring up that point that you like women, but you don't like all women, and there are women that you don't find attractive and wouldn't want to date, and you're not gonna just jump on her because she's a woman. Like it works exactly the same way. It's not, you know.
Well, either way, it's more acceptable in our society for a man to holler at a woman out in the mall and for her to just turn it down. But a gay man, if he holler out at a dude in the mall, then he might not make it home that night.
Yeah.
And so I think that you got to put in the context that in our society, a homosexual male will tap dance around messing with dudes that are potentially straight because they don't know what that man is capable of. And we know that gay men have died at the hands of straight men. We know that gay men have been harmed seriously in the hands of straight men, and we know those things happen. Yeah. And so the idea that they just waiting to holler at you, like, if that's the case, how many gay dudes in your life have hollered at you? You know, how many gay dudes in your life have, you know, showed you that they was attracted to you and tried to come at you? Like, you have no evidence to believe that that's how it goes. I just think that, and I'm a part of that group too. I have been in the past a part of that group. It's taking a long time to transition into new ways of thinking and new ideas because this is what society does. It conditions us to feel a certain way about a type of group. Because
I'm pretty sure I've been hollered or attempted to be hollered at by more women than you have men.
I'm sure of it.
Because that happens. That's happened. And it's always like weird.
But I mean, like early 20s, Mr. On Point used to be homophobic.
I just cannot see that. I cannot see that. I don't think I knew. We didn't really know each other. We went to the same school, but I don't think we didn't know each other
early,
after
early 20s. Like,
okay.
Early 20s.
I still can't see it. Because of how open-minded you are now, I just can't imagine a world.
It's because if my first 20 years of life, my mama told me that what I know to be a spoon was a fork.
Oh, yeah.
Then at age 21, I would be calling it a fork, even though it was a spoon. And everybody who told me that was a spoon, I was going to say, no, this a fork. That's all I've known this to be for the first 20 years. But when I realized that everybody in my environment after 21 calls that a spoon, I'm going to start calling it a spoon too. I think a lot of people have the propensity to be more open-minded, but what their environment has proposed to them are not things that represent open-mindedness. Yeah. But once I'm invited and learn about a new way of thinking, I think that way, especially when it represents inclusivity of other people, other groups, other cultures, other everything. That's me. It's still some stuff I have that I don't know about because my view of Asians without learning about their specific cultures, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Taiwanese, any of those, is limited to what I've learned in movies.
That's why I just say Asians.
That's why I say Asians.
I never know. For me, one, because I'm not around them enough, it is very hard for me to tell the differences. So it's just safer for me to say Asian because I can understand like them getting offended because I would get offended. I assume if you were assuming that I was something I wasn't. So I just will say Asian because it's just safer because I don't know. I don't know what part of Asia.
And that's what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I watch some Japanese anime, you know.
I still don't
And
get that.
I know that some of the food places I go to is Chinese restaurants. But what I'm saying is, until I'm introduced to those distinctions and a way to be more open-minded and inclusive and understanding of those distinctions, then I'm not there.
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying it's a lot of other areas of my life that I have the propensity to be open-minded to once I'm introduced to those new ideas. But it's literally so many things that we don't know about in this life that it would be hard to go research all these things and be able to keep them, unless you got one of them, you know, minds that can remember every single thing.
Memory.
You know, and I don't have that. So I kind of wait until those things are introduced into my world, and then I learn about them, and then I become more open-minded, and then I learn more about the person or the people that introduced that thing to me.
Well, you tried introducing anime to me, and I can't. It's weird. It's just weird.
No, I haven't introduced anime to you because you haven't watched one.
I have watched some.
No. You haven't watched one with my introduction. I've only talked to you about anime. Now, as you have allowed me the opportunity to, you know, invite you to this Captain America movie. If you will allow me the opportunity to invite you to anime, I will pick the perfect anime that if you don't like it, you're just not going to like anime.
I mean, I've listened to some of the ones that you've talked about, and my brother's into anime. He loves anime. Like, he has a tattoo of one.
See, the fact that he liked anime to that degree means that he likes too much diverse anime to choose a specific one for you to enjoy.
Well, the one he got the tattoo of, I don't know. I haven't asked. I don't know if it's like on Hulu or Netflix, or I don't think it is. I don't know how he's watching it. It's called Fairy Tale. I don't know if you ever watched that.
I know it's popular.
One.
I haven't watched it. It's on my list of things to anime to watch.
He has the emblem for the show on his arm. Like, that's how much he likes it. He goes to like Comic-Con, and he's like one of those people. But I've tried. I haven't watched Death Note. That's one that I think I might like.
Okay. Now, if you were to watch anime, what genre would you want to watch? Now, I want to let you know that when it comes to anime, the genres are as expansive as the ones we have here in this world. Like, I think that the effort we put into all of the TV shows we have, they put into anime. So, whatever genres that exist here, which one I know you watch a lot of criminal related stuff. So, are we talking about a psychological thriller?
Yes, that would be.
Does it need an action component, or do it need more suspense component?
It could be either or. I like
either
both.
or.
Yeah.
So, anime, psychological thriller.
Suspense,
are we talking about violence and gore, or are we talking about keeping it moderate? Because the gore can get bad.
And the thing is, and this makes no sense, cartoon gore is weirder to me than like realistic gore, and so cartoon gore is just weird. I don't know. I don't like it. No gore.
People can be killed, but just no gore.
I don't want to see,
right
intestines
now,
flying around.
Right now, I'm thinking Psychopaths.
That's a funny name.
And you know what? I'm gonna explain it to you, okay? Anybody that watch anime, me and Red are counselors, so it fits. So in this world, they've created a device that detects mental instability in people.
We would be out of a job.
I don't know. In this world, I don't know. The gun, once you point it at somebody, it detects their level of instability. A certain range gets you this thing called counseling. And it's not what we call counseling. Not sitting in front of a person. It's like you go into a hospital pretty much, and it's like medication they give you, and that's counseling. It rehabilitates you. At the end of the day, it does what counseling is supposed to do. It rehabilitates you.
Okay.
The other range is if your instability level is too high, it kills you.
Oh, shit.
Like pretty much if you're in a range that could be rehabilitated, you go get rehabilitated.
But if you're like a psychopath.
Yeah, if you're in the range in which rehabilitation won't help you, the gun kills you. And the gun makes that determination. The gun itself makes that determination. That's how advanced the device is. And so there is a whole unit of people. It's like a police agency, a whole unit of police agency that have these guns. And they have rehabilitated psychopaths that help them. So they got some people that if the gun were turned on them, it would kill them. But they've agreed to work with the police in order to take their sentence off. And this is how these shows usually introduce very diverse range of characters. You know, because they got these different levels of psychopaths that are helping the police. And you got police that are skeptical of using them, that don't like them. You got some that recognize their value. So it introduces a whole range of things. Now, this is just the premise of the show. The whole purpose of the show is that the main character is a police officer that is skeptical about this whole system because it can be utilized in a negative way. And the main bad guy's complete goal of the show is to show this whole system how that can be done. So the whole show is a transition from learning how this system works to learning how it can be flawed and learning the politics behind the whole system. So that is a good show.
Okay. But
right now, from your description, I would say that show.
Okay.
Now, if I wanted to give my own show, it's an action anime, One Punch Man. One Punch Man. I'm not gonna give a description of that one because it'll be a long time I keep giving the description. But
I'm trying to think of the ones that I have tried to watch. I've tried to most of the ones that are on Netflix. I can't think of any of them right off.
I think I can go for Attack on Titan with you too.
I think I've seen. Isn't that a popular one? Don't they have like
it's popular
character? Yeah, I think I've seen like the characters from that one. I hadn't watched it, but I've tried because I'm open-minded and I like a lot of things that most people my age, my gender don't. I play video games. I my interests are very varied. I would go to Comic-Con, but the only reason why I wouldn't want to, and I'll probably dress up because I think I'll be Storm. I was Storm for Halloween last year, but so when I lived in Montgomery, they had this place called GT South. It's like a gaming thing where like they had all the consoles hooked up to TVs. You just go in, they had a bar, and you just play video games. The problem was that a lot of the people that were there were like this was their whole life was playing video games, and they're those people that like they smell like cheese because like hygiene's not on top of their list. And so I just imagine Comic-Con to be a larger scale of that, and I don't know that I would want to be there.
I don't think so.
You don't
because
think
the people who go to stuff like GT South they know about it because they in that world.
Yeah,
everybody knows about
how
Comic-Con.
I ran across it. I randomly ran across. I don't even remember how. Because it's a really small little place, and most people in Montgomery probably don't know about it. It was cool. I mean, they had every console that you could think of. They had. And I got to play Killer Instinct on Super NES. That was cool.
They got Killer Instinct on Xbox One now.
I don't have an Xbox One, so
well, you can't play it.
Can't play it.
But it's out there.
Have you played it?
I don't like Killer Instinct.
What do you mean?
Never been a Killer Instinct
you
fan.
You like Mortal Kombat?
I like Mortal Kombat.
How do you like Mortal Kombat and not Killer Instinct?
It just never liked it.
I like the characters on Killer Instinct.
It's one of them things that you had to play when it was all hype. And if you didn't play it when it was all hype, not all hype like just hype. I mean when it was
popular,
You know, and if you didn't, then it just don't register
Killer
with you.
Instinct. I like Mortal Kombat too, but I love Killer Instinct.
My mama wouldn't let us play shit with stuff like Killer in it.
Oh, well.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mortal Kombat. But she didn't know that Mortal Kombat. Yeah, sounds better than Killer Instinct.
It just got a dragon on the front of it. She's got a dragon symbol on the front.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I think when you go to Comic-Con, you get a range of people from extreme hardcore gamers to people that just like how these characters look, so they make costumes and they go with these characters. So I think you can find whatever you're looking for in a Comic-Con type situation. Well, if I would go to Comic-Con, I'm gonna be Mega Man, Black Mega Man, Black Mega Man. I'm gonna be Black Man.
I would be Storm, because that last year I went on a Halloween cruise as Storm. People were asking to take pictures of me. So there's pictures of me floating around dressed up as Storm.
I don't think I'll go as a whole Mega Man. I just want like an X-Buster on my arm. Like I just want the whole blue arm set up. That's all I want.
So you wouldn't do the whole suit, the helmet, the whole thing?
Because I feel like being black I look real stupid in it. I mean,
have you seen some of these outfits from Comic-Con though?
I have.
You fit right in. It'd
black
be fine.
people get a lot of criticism for being black and dressing up as traditionally white anime characters or video game
They
characters.
get flack from who?
Just everybody. Like, imagine how many people would have a problem if Black Mega Man came in there, and how many sneak disses and side comments I get. That probably wouldn't be pleasant.
So stupid. I mean, I didn't pick Storm because she's black. I picked Storm because I think she's cool. I think she's one of the cooler X-Men. I could be Jean Grey. My hair's red. I could be Phoenix.
Well, it's this one black Comic-Con goer, but she dressed up as different characters, and she got a whole article talking about, you know, the troubles of a black Comic-Con, you know.
That is so crazy.
And
because the
she
thing about
experienced a lot
it,
of shit.
if you only go as black, it's so limited because there's not a lot of them. There'd be a shit ton of storms. That, you know what I'm saying? If everybody only went as like people that were you would be very limited on.
You know how many Deadpools it is? Like, Deadpool is perfect because you don't know what color Deadpool is.
It's covered up completely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the pictures of Comic-Con ain't gonna be representative of the whole situation. I want to go though. I want to go to something like that.
Well, my goal is before I leave this for our parish, I want to live in California just because I think I would enjoy living there. And Comic-Con, like, I would be there already, so might as well go to Comic-Con since I'm here. But I would like to go, like, and dress up because I like Halloween, and I always go as like some kind of superhero. Although this year I think I'm gonna go as Daria because I think that fits. I think
nobody's gonna know who you are.
I know. But I still want to go with Daria. For anybody listening that don't know who the fuck Daria is, it was a cartoon show that came on MTV in the 90s. And she was just a very sarcastic. She was emo without being dressed in black. She wore like the chunky boots and wore glasses, a green jacket and glasses, and was just a very big smart ass. And her sister was like this princessy, cheerleadery, bubbly, and she was like the exact opposite. And her parents were crazy. I could relate to Daria. That was like my life. Except I had brothers instead of a sister.
When you said Daria, it just made me think about MTV TV back then, where they had like Aeon Flux.
Oh yeah,
which was very weird. Yeah. I could never watch that because at the beginning, the fly, it going to the lady eyelashes.
Did you watch the movie with
Yeah, I like
what's
the movie.
her face? I have the movie, of course. If y'all don't know, I have like 400 DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah,
I have a lot of movies. I watch a lot of movies.
You know what I realized? It just made me think about. So Chance the Rapper. You listen to him. You listen to Chance the Rapper?
No. I've heard the name, though. I have at least heard his name.
I really like Chance the Rapper, but he came out with an album called Coloring Book. It's a mixtape. And it came out on Apple Music.
Okay.
Right? The same thing that Beyonce came out on Tidal.
And Drake came out on Apple Music.
And Drake came out on our music. And the same thing is Kanye came out on Spotify and Tidal.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, are they trying to stop us from being able to own music?
Well, I think
because like, how do you buy like?
They eventually become where you can download them though. Like Lemonade, I have it, I bought it, and like I think they're releasing it on these platforms exclusively first to increase the number of people that like if you just can't wait to hear the album, if you don't want to wait a month after the fact, or because they eventually make them. They put them up for download and for purchase. It's just like the initial drop isn't available for purchase anymore. And that's to push people into subscribing to these different streaming services, which fuck that shit. Like,
so with your vast movie collection, how do you feel about digital purchases?
So here's the thing. That same friend, he has always told me that I should rip all my DVDs to like a hard drive and just have the hard drive. I like the cases. Like I like having like the physical DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, and the case. I don't know why. It's just a quirk in my personality, but I like having the cases. So I have downloaded, like, because some stuff, like, I watch World's Dumbest, which it comes on True TV, and most people have no idea what I'm talking about, but I've downloaded a shit ton of that from, like, Amazon and Apple. But for the most part, I still buy DVD because I just like having. So if they started doing that with movies, I'd be mad because I wouldn't want to have to like stream. I like having the physical copies. I do. Now the music doesn't bother me. I was never like a CD person, and the car that I have now does not even have a CD player. So you either listen to the radio, you listen to satellite radio, or you plug in a device. Like I use my iPod, but it doesn't have a CD player. It didn't come with one, and it's like the higher end of this particular car. Mm-hmm. A lot of cars don't come with CD players anymore because we're going more towards like streaming music. I'm okay with that though. Like music I never was like a CD case kind of person. I don't know why I like movie cases though. I just do. So I don't really download movies that much.
Yeah.
Plus, my whole thing is this. If my Wi-Fi goes down, because that happens because Charter sucks ass. If my Wi-Fi goes down and all of my movies are on this hard drive that I'm like streaming to whatever system, I'm fucked. I can't like watch them.
Well, this day you can plug your hard drive with your TV.
Yeah, or I could just get my DVD out. And I at one point had a 5-disc DVD thing where I could put 5 movies in and just watch 5 movies and never have to get up.
Well, I bootleg stuff, so I don't really care either way. It's just that when Chance released, I joined the free 3 months Apple Music situation
for Lemonade.
I did it too.
That's what
but they charged me.
Yeah, we talked because you had to get the top tier.
That's not why.
Why was it? Why did they charge
It's because when Kanye released, I tried to activate a membership and it kept denying me. And they counted that as my first activation, even though it only showed me 1 day registering. It showed me registering. It never took my credit card as payment. And I was sending an email back with the correspondent. I was like, listen, it never charged me after this, so my credit card information could not have been in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't have done the first free trial because I would have had the rest of my credit card information for the trial to start, which means that that's next month would have charged.
Yeah.
It never charged, so clearly y'all never accepted my payment information. So now that y'all accepted the first time, this is the trial, but they didn't look at it like that. So
you didn't get your money back?
No.
Oh, that sucks.
Tired of kiss my ass.
Yeah.
After this.
But that's why I think they're trying to force people into going with a streaming service. And so artists, and because they're like promising the artists more money, they're like going that way as well. So they're agreeing to release their albums exclusively on Apple Music or Tidal or
and they must be. It must be that worthwhile compared to what sales would be outside of those things. Because otherwise, why do it like that?
Yeah.
And Chance, I don't think Chance is on a label. I think he's an independent artist. And this was a mixtape. A mixtape got all this.
See, I'm not so into music that I wouldn't be able to wait 4 weeks. Like, y'all can listen to it. That's fine. I'm going to wait till this shit is available for download because I don't want to subscribe to this monthly service, and so I'm not going to. But for somebody that's like a really big fan of this particular artist and like has to have it, it's like Beyonce fans, which are insane. The babe, however you pronounce it, they're crazy. So they're going to whatever. If I have to join Tidal to be the first one to get Queen Bee shit, then that's what I'm gonna do. So for people who are like huge fans of these folks, that will work because they're not gonna want to wait to be able to listen to the music if they can only exclusively listen to it at the beginning here. They're gonna go there. Me, not so much.
I don't know. That's what I was wondering because it just seemed like they're trying to take that shit out of people's hands to me for some reason. I don't know.
They are gonna. I mean, it does force some people, but not all. Like me, and I'm stubborn, so fuck it. I'll wait.
Ideally, if the movie industry, the music industry, and the video game industry can get everybody to stream and download, they will save all the money because they don't have to make any physical copies of this stuff. So I think they pushing that I think they pushing that. And Xbox, I know, is pushing it.
Yeah, they
because they stuff go on sale real fast.
Yeah.
And so it's like ideally they can also make that stuff cheaper too, but they're not gonna do that.
No,
they're gonna make it a regular price. Whoever gonna buy it, then they'll just reduce the price down. You know, the impulsive people that can't wait and impatient, they gonna get that extra 20, 30 off of them.
Yep.
And then they'll make it lower for the people that ain't gonna buy it after that.
Because I'm gonna be one of them people.
Yeah, that's you.
And now for the last little piece of the show, I would like to address Captain America: Civil War. I was wrong. It pains me to say that I actually enjoyed that movie only because I feel like in my mind it was more about Iron Man than it was Captain America, and I can live with that. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I love Iron Man's one-liners. His character speaks to me because he's an asshole, and I enjoy that. I liked seeing Panther, his entrance into this whole world. I enjoyed the movie. I did. I was wrong. I would have missed out on a great movie because it had Captain America's name on it.
There it is.
So I was wrong.
But I do have to say that I wish y'all could have seen how much she was hating on Captain America the whole movie with her gestures, and she just hate that man. It's irrational. Why? I don't know, y'all. I don't know why she had that much hatred. Like, if he would do something like decent, she'll look like, look at him. Being a little bit better than average.
That is exactly, look,
That's
sorry.
what she was looking like.
That is what I believe. I like the Winter Soldier better than him. Like, I'm not going to watch the movie because that is going to be totally all Captain America, and I can't do that shit. But I like the Winter Soldier. I like his character. I feel like I just think he's funny. I've never laughed at anything Captain America's ever fucking said. And I just don't like him. But I did like the Winter Soldier. I like his character.
You should watch him being a bad guy to Captain America because he's badass in the movie in Winter Soldier. He is. You should check it out.
I'm sure he is, but I don't want to watch another Captain America movie. And my poor movie collection. I'm probably going to purchase this movie, and that hurts me because I don't want a Captain America movie in my movie collection. But again, because I feel like this was more about Iron Man, I'm going to bite the bullet, and I will purchase this when it comes out because I enjoyed it.
You can tell yourself what you want.
And a Spider-Man. I like young Spider-Man. He's hilarious.
Yeah, Tom Holland. Marvel does a great job with casting. There is not a character in the universe that has been cast poorly to me. I don't know. Let me think.
Well, I don't know if it was a poor cast. Is the Green Lantern Marvel? Or
no,
DC?
that's DC.
DC, because that sucked ass. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with Chris Evans per se. I just don't like Captain America. But yeah, they do a very good job because Robert Downey Jr. will always be Iron Man to me. I feel like he was made for that role. He does an amazing job.
He was a good Iron Man.
He's a great Iron Man.
He was a great casting choice for Iron Man.
And I like not Paul
You
Rudd.
know what? You know who my questionable casting is?
Who?
On both accounts? War Machine. Terrence Howard at first, and Don Cheadle now.
Yeah.
I just don't really like Terrence Howard, and Don Cheadle is just...
He's not a superhero to me. Like, he's not made for that.
Don Cheadle ain't bad, but he's still bland for the role.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, I don't really care. I don't really care for him, but Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds. I like him much better as Deadpool than Green Lantern. I'm glad they made that switch.
Well, Green Lantern DC they writing ain't together yet.
Yeah.
They movie's gonna be good at some point. Cause what probably gonna happen is as time continues to pass, they're gonna go try to find some writers from some of these earlier Marvel movies that ain't really with Marvel no more.
Yeah.
And figure out what that algorithm is to get, because they started the whole DC universe with Batman v Superman. So they'll get it together.
I don't even want to talk about what they've done to Superman because I'm gonna get angry. I just don't want to go into that. I really love Deadpool though. That was a good movie too. I like asshole characters. Like, I like characters that are extremely sarcastic because I like it's an action movie, but there's some hilarity in there too. I love that. So I love Deadpool. That was amazing. And that's the reason why I like Iron Man. I like Tony Stark. I think we could hang. It'd be great.
I don't know. His ego and narcissism is up there.
Yeah, I hang around narcissistic people all the time, so it'd be fine. And I like I said, I like Spider-Man. I think that was a good casting choice. He did a really good job. And I like young Spider-Man, like how enthusiastic he was. That was really good. I like the movie.
You know, the Scarlet Witch is the youngest Olsen.
I like her, but those other Olsens.
They used to be all right.
They used to be okay. Have you seen them lately?
Yeah, they like crackheads.
They have aged horridly. I hope she does not take a page from their book because she's doing very well. She just continued down the path that she's currently on.
Did you see the Avengers? Did you see Age of Ultron?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how they got her.
Her Russian accent from that movie, I wonder if they had her drop it on purpose or if they weren't paying attention.
It was wasn't she kind of Russian in this one?
If you look at the backstory from Ultron and they grew up in Russia. So even if she spent time with Avengers up until this point, she wouldn't have lost that much of her Russian accent.
Yeah.
She sounded like a regular.
She had a little bit of Russian.
A very little bit. But how deep it was.
It was really deep in Ultron.
Yeah, because I watched Ultron again the other day and I was like, dang.
Yeah, it was a bit of a difference.
Real deep.
It was a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
I like her character. I like the movie. I can't, other than Captain America, I don't have any issues with any of the characters or any of the casting.
And you don't have a rational one for Captain America.
That's your opinion. I think that my dislike of him and my distaste for him is completely rational. And I just
This is what one of your clients would be saying if you were telling them that something that they believe is rational was irrational.
Don't compare me to my clients. Jesus. It's not that bad. But yeah, I just don't like him. I just don't. But I am rational enough that I could admit it was a good movie. I'm not going to say it was a horrible movie simply because he was in it. That would be irrational. It was a good movie. It was enjoyable.
If it's irrational to say that it was horrible because he in it and not do that because it was a good movie, then you could do the same for another Captain America movie.
But they won't have all these other characters in it, like, to take my attentions from him. And I enjoyed seeing Tony Stark whoop his ass.
I like Paul Rudd, man.
I love Ant-Man was amazing too. I loved Ant-Man. He's funny.
Something just went inside me. He's so childlike in his demeanor, especially as Ant-Man. He's Scott Lang.
I love him. They do a really good job of casting these characters. Like, I haven't seen anybody that wasn't believable or that. I mean, it fits them. They do like a perfect job in the roles that they're in. I like, what's his name?
Okay.
Anthony Mackie's character.
Oh, Falcon.
The Falcon. I love the Falcon. I think he's funny. I liked his interaction with Ant-Man in the movie. And I like that they addressed that in this movie. So that was... I like the movie. I don't have any... So Calamity Red can admit that I was wrong. And Miss On Point was right. It was a good movie, despite the fact that Captain America was in it. But... at the end of it, I still feel like Captain America is ass.
Everybody, this is the first step. This is one first step a minute. I don't know what the next one's gonna be. The next one's gonna be anime.
Okay, I'm
but I gotta be there. I gotta be there.
You have to be there?
Because if I'm gonna be introducing you to something, I gotta have quality control. Because you're gonna be sitting there playing with Kingston, crazy self, while the show going on. You gonna miss some critical? No, you gotta watch. So I have to be there for quality control.
Yeah, that probably would happen. Or somebody would call or
that's how it's gonna work.
Yeah,
if somebody called, pause. Wait.
Yeah, because we've seen what happens. Let me tell y'all something. While we were at the movies, my mother called me 7 times. And I'm not exaggerating. She literally called me 7 times because my mom has this thing where if she calls me and I don't answer, she automatically goes to the worst case scenario. So that means that I'm lying dead somewhere, or I have been horrifically raped, or something horrible is happening. And so she continuously calls, and her last step is to call 911 and have them do a welfare check. And I 100% believe that she would fucking do that. So when I looked and I saw that she had called me 7 times, I was like, oh shit, let me call her because the Calvary is on the way.
That's exactly what she said.
Cause she will do it. I have who calls their 7 times? Obviously I'm doing something. Like, not 7 times over the course of even half an hour. 7 times within like 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, probably 5 minutes. Like, she literally called me 7 fucking times. And what's crazy is she doesn't do this with my brothers, and my brothers are idiots. I've said that before. I love them to death. But if anybody needed to be checked up on, it is them. It is not me. I have Kingston. He's not gonna let anything happen to me. Not because he cares, because I'm his meal ticket. And if I die, he might suffer and have to like stay in the house without food for a while. He ain't gonna allow that.
If you die, it will be because of Kingston. It will have been an elaborate setup.
I think he's plotting against me right now. He's behaving himself. He walks downstairs. He sits when I tell him to. He's been agreeable. I think he's plotting to kill me. I think my mom's going to call 7 times one of these days, and I'm not going to pick up because Kingston has murdered me.
Or you about to set me up.
Oh, yeah, because Mr. On Point is going to dog sit Kingston. So, we will do the show after I come back, and then you can talk about your experiences with young Kingston.
We can. We'll see.
That is going to be
I'm going to tell that little nigga how it is. That's how that's going to happen.
This is how bad this dog is, okay? We have to practice walking him before I leave. Like, we got to do, like, practice runs to make sure that this is something that can even happen. Because my dog is an evil genius, and he's insane.
You're right. We got to make sure. Because what's going to happen is, on the first day when you gone, he not going to go down the stairs, and I'm going to be like, well, shit, this wasn't in the damn plans. And then I'm going to try to pick him up, and then he going to spaz out. And I don't know what's going to happen after that. You don't even know.
I don't. I'm hoping that he's just going to go down the stairs. That's why we're going to practice to make sure. Literally, when who holds the leash holds control, because he enjoys going outside so much that he could be in the middle of doing something, and if I pick up his leash, it's like, oh shit, we're going outside, and he drops everything, and it's his whole focal point is on getting out that door. So I think if you have the leash in your hand, you should be okay. Well, now when y'all come back in, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, but
well, I'm glad we're having this conversation, because now that means we need contingency plans for if you don't go down the step.
Yeah, I mean, if he don't go down the stairs, like
he going in the cage until
well, you're gonna have to get him in there. He don't go in the cage voluntarily. Put him out on the balcony. I'd rather he shit on the balcony than in my house. Just leave him on the balcony. Nobody's gonna steal him. He'll be fine.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
He wouldn't allow himself to be stolen. They come up there thinking they were finna get a prize and walk away very mistaken.
Because it ain't no way I'm going to not be able to pick him up to the point that I have to leave him on the balcony and somebody else can just come steal him.
Exactly.
It ain't work like that, no.
He knows you and wouldn't let you pick him up, so a fucking stranger, not going to happen.
He showed, because I will rub him, and then when I get closer to his size, he start getting like, nigga, what you doing? What you doing?
He only wants on the head. He's comfortable with on the head. My dog is weird. He's insane.
He used to be a Chinese dictator.
I don't know that that's true.
He was probably an old senior Chinese dictator, died at 89 years old, came back reincarnated as a puppy.
Why would I have gotten that one? Damn, because I need to go find the breed.
According to you, that's how your luck. That's how your luck is. That is
how my luck is. I would get a dog that was a reincarnated Chinese dictator. He was the one that walked over to me too. Like, I went and I was looking at the puppies, and he toddled over, and I was like, "Oh, he's the one." And that's how I ended up with this dog that took 8 years to go down the fucking stairs. So that's my life. That's what happens.
Your dog is crazy.
He is. And I'm not, people think I'm exaggerating when I tell them these stories of him, but he legitly is crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah, he really is. It's a sight to see. It's a sight to behold.
Very much so. But that's where we at.
Yep. And so this was our random Inception, a conversation within a conversation within a conversation. So yeah, back to the regularly scheduled program next week, I guess.
Yeah, you got anything else on your mind?
That be it.
All right. Till we come to the next conversation.
We out.
Holla.